Hello and welcome. The car behind me is a bit of a rarity, but very, very special. Today we're looking at the Vincent MPH.
Good afternoon, my name's Nicholas Smith and this is my Vincent MPH.
Were you aware of Vincent in the past, or is it something that you came across by accident?
Totally came across by accident. I had a 1936 Austin 10 which was coming to the end of its life with me, and I decided to sell it to a man who was going to retire and do it up, and I was searching the web, window shopping as you do, and came across this and sort of fell in love with it and went and test drove it, and never heard of them before. And I've only ever met one other.
So tell me what you know about your car's history.
Very little. Probably made in the early 80s. From there, I've got lots of MOT receipts and old bits and pieces from it, with lots of addresses. But the history of the car I know nothing about.
So it's obviously an early one because it hasn't got the doors. So I would say it's a Vincent rather than the later Dwornik versions, because they pretty much, most of them had the doors.
Now, you see, that's exactly what I thought. It hasn't got the doors. However, underneath where the bulkhead is, in the early ones, had a square tube for the wheel support, for the steering wheel. This has a round tube. It also has the cross bracing underneath the engine, which is the later development. So although it doesn't have the doors, I don't think it's an early Vincent car. I think it's early because it doesn't have the doors, but I still wonder whether it is a Dwornik car.
Yeah.
So to me, I can't quite work out what it is.
So front suspension Triumph?
GT6, probably, yes. Rear suspension, the rest of it really is an Escort in essence. I think it's actually a Cortina engine, 2-litre Pinto. The rest of it 4-speed transmission. The rest of it all the way through is Ford through and through, with the exception of the rear suspension. The leaf springs have gone, which was the Vincent design, and then it's 4 trailing arms and a panhard rod at the back, which makes the suspension surprisingly modern and surprisingly good.
So what were you looking for, and how did the discovery of this take you off track?
I was looking for a 7-esque, so you're going to be a Caterham or whatever it was. That's what I looked for. But as I'd had a 1930s car and I saw this, I thought I'm going to get the best of both worlds. Modernish, although it was sort of early 80s, with a 30s body on it. More reliable in some ways, and it just looked good. It's a fake Riley, and I don't care. It's a kit car, and I don't care. It's just fun to drive. Nice cars.
And what has been the reaction from the classic car world that you've encountered?
It's odd. The more you talk to people, people like it. Some people in the classic car world don't like it because it's not a Riley. It's a kit car. Other people love it because, for me, it's an automotive cul-de-sac. All of these little car manufacturers from all over the 70s, even before, were making their own little bespoke cars. It's a little piece of automotive engineering history. It's well made, it's well engineered. I think the Vincent brothers made a fantastic car. I think Tony Dwornik has made it even better. And there's so few of them, we've got to keep them alive. It's a lovely car.
So how long have you had it?
Crumbs, not that long. So 2017, 2018, not long, really.
And how far have you gone in it, and what do you use it for? How often do you use it?
It's not a trailer queen, it's not a show queen, it's a driven car. It doesn't really get polished, only gets polished once a year. It goes anywhere and everywhere. So I go out, we did a kit car chip run, which was a 200-mile journey, no problems. Went to the Lincolnshire Wolds and did a 200-mile journey in a day, no problems. I've had the engine rebuilt, unleaded valve seats and things, by Penguin Motors locally, superb. I have no problems with it now. When I first had it, the engine was a bit ropey. Graham Barr has rebuilt it and done a superb job. I have no qualms about travelling in it anywhere. It once went, and I think with Tony Dwornik, down to do the Targa Floria in Sicily. So I'd quite like to do that. Long journey.
And I don't think you had weather gear in the car either, did you?
No. No hood, no weather gear, no screen. It's as motoring should be. If you're cold, you're underdressed. If you're wet, you're underdressed.
Does it have a heater?
Yeah, it does. So it has a Smith's heater from a Mini, probably. Yeah, it keeps your legs warm, but the engine keeps you warm. But yeah, any weather except snow and ice. Yeah. And it's raining today, so we've dodged the showers.
And I've noticed that whenever you were driving around in the car, big smile on your face.
You can't help it. I mean, it's good fun. It handles well, it drives well. You're sitting behind the wheel of a car. When you're behind it, who cares if it's a kit car? It doesn't matter. It looks good. It gets lots of admiring looks. It's just, I like it. It's a nice car.
Now, somebody who hasn't considered a kit car before,
yep,
sees this and thinks, oh, okay, I'll look for something like that. Would you say that avoid a kit car or embrace it and go for it?
You pay what you get what you pay for, don't you, in all of these things. Vincents are like hen's teeth. They're few and far between. I've only ever seen one other, and I've only met one other man who's owned one. If you get a good one, you get a good one. If they're well engineered like these are, they're great to drive. If you like tinkering, great, tinker, repair. I've stripped this down, I've done all of the petrol system in it, done that myself and bits and pieces. The bits I can't do, I get a garage to do. Embrace it, have fun. If it breaks down, it's part of the fun and part of the journey. You've always got an AA card, it will always get you home. And that has happened a couple of times, but on the whole, yeah, embrace it, have fun.
Now, you're a family man, what do the family think?
Family like it, family do like it. It tends to be a me car. That's what I like. It's my space. I go out, I drive in it. Yeah, it's my space, my little world. So it tends to be just me.
And does it go to work?
Has done. Drive it to school occasionally. Yeah, doesn't bother me.
And do the kids like it?
Yeah, children, well, one of my children has driven it. Emily's driven it. William and Harriet have not yet driven it. I don't think Harriet can actually reach the pedals, but there we are. She'll kill me for that. That's all right.
Yeah. Well, thank you ever so much for
my pleasure.
At the car. And it is, as you said, it's a mobile joy to see it. It's just. I think Riley knew what they were doing. Weren't they?
The original Rileys were really interesting because it's based on an MPH. In 1934-35, they made 15 original MPHs. They were very sporty. The last one sold in 2019 at Monterey in America for just under $1 million. Now, I couldn't afford an original one in a lifetime of lifetimes. But if I had an original one, would I drive it? I'd be too scared to drive $1 million car. This, I don't care about driving it. I mean, it's my pride and joy. It's a lot of money for me, but yeah, I think the bangs for buck, it was great.
How much did you pay, if you don't mind asking?
13,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It is a lot of money for what it is, for kit cars. But there again, compared to a real 1930s Riley,
these go for 15 to 17,000, so that's pretty.
Yeah, it's about right. I've seen them go for in early 20s once. They're not made anymore. Tony Dwornik doesn't make them anymore. He did make a superb one for classic trialling. Absolutely brilliant, with raised suspension, superb gearbox, and it was never used for trialling. And that came up for sale about a year or so ago, and I wish I could have afforded it because I would have trialled it, because that's what they were designed to do. But no, I won't trial this one.
Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please support the channel by hitting the thumbs up and hit that bell. And whilst you're at it, click on all and you'll find out about the next videos that are coming down the line.